Well, I think I'll do one more Beatles tune. This one has a story that I find very appealing, especially in these times. Paul McCartney's mother, whose name was Mary, and so I had to figure out who the Mary was in this song, Mother Mary, had died when he was a young teenager. And he was distressed because the Beatles were breaking up and his best friends of his whole life were fighting with each other, and George and Paul and John and Ringo, and couldn't sleep. And he finally drifted into sleep, and in his sleep he dreamed of his mother Mary, who said to him, "Paul, let it be." And he said, "Well, I got to get up and write the song." So he did. When I find myself in times of trouble. You know, I'm going to keep that up a little. Hang on. Hang on. Then I'll be ready for the next song, too. So I'm going to start over. Young people in the audience, I'm not playing a video game on this little screen. I've been asked that. I just think it's terrific for my generation, the way as our memories start to fall apart, all these aids come along, things that let me tune, things that let me remember words. It's all good. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When all the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. And I think this is powerful for us right now. There are times you got to disinfect the counter, and there are times when you got to worry, and there are times when you just got to let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine on till tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. You know there's gonna be an answer, let it be. Oh man, that man could write, couldn't he? I always figure it's a little nervy to try and do a song of Paul McCartney's. That's sort of, you have to make your voice work. This is another song I wrote fairly recently, but before we were all cooped up at home. It means a little more to me now, but there is not a weed in most of my garden this year, because that's basically what I'm doing. Out there. You out, you can stay. They threw a tarp over the peppers and they canned the last tomatoes, pulled and hung the shell beans up to dry. They know the frost is due tonight, they can feel it in their bones. The season season's end is growing nigh, and the great wheel turns, the seasons spin. Winter never lasts forever, spring will come again, the great wheel turns, the seasons spin. And in the wood stove days of winter, with a teacup by the fire, time to dream and plan in fading light. Days to sharpen tools, evening thinking, reading, snowstorm blowing in tonight, and the great wheel turns, the seasons spin. Winter never lasts forever, spring will come again, the great wheel turns, the seasons spin. In the spring when every flower is a gift beyond all measure, and the parsnips are a boon beyond all price, where everywhere you walk is the sound of running water, as the sun defeats the winter ice, and the great wheel turns, the seasons spin. Winter never lasts forever, spring will come again, the great wheel turns, the seasons spin. And the kayak days of summer, bursting with blueberries, you pick and eat and throw them to the hens. We haven't got to that point yet, but we're getting there. They got music on the porch in the endless twilight evenings, telling stories, laughing with their friends, and the great wheel turns, the seasons spin. Winter never lasts forever, spring will come again, the great wheel turns, the seasons spin. The great wheel turns, the seasons spin. So nice to be doing this. Thank you all for coming out. You know, as Tom Waits used to say in his concerts at some point, I want to thank you for coming out tonight. It would have been a completely different experience without you. Here's a song from the South Carolina Sea Islands. And I really think if you want, this is a fun song to sing with. Especially if you got a mask on. The people closest to me are masked, so I think that'll be okay. We're outdoors. Wonderful song for just singing, enjoying the world. Watch the stars, see how they run. Watch the stars, see how they run. You know the stars run down at the setting of the sun. Watch the stars, see how they run. Watch the wind, see how it blows. Watch the wind, see how it blows. You know the wind, it blows at the setting of the sun. Watch the wind, see how she blows. Watch the moon, see how she shines. Watch the moon, see how she shines. You know the moon shines down at the setting of the sun. Watch the moon, see how she shines. Hello? Watch the stars, see how they run. Watch the stars, see how they run. You know the stars run down at the setting of the sun. Watch the stars, see how they run. Watch the stars, see how they run. That's such, I just love that song. Here's another song of Paul McCartney's. I like his songs that start out with a question, but will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? I blew past that a long time ago. And so there's only the one that's still important. And actually, my story for this song, I'm going to get some water. my story for this song is I was having some trouble with pitch, with getting notes right. And I thought the very best thing I could do to train myself to pitch was to sing, "What would you think if I sang out of tune?" Because you gotta sing that line in tune. So, week after week when I was playing at the market, I would do this song and force myself to sing it in pitch. It improved my in-pitch singing for everything else too. This is a song the Beatles sort of threw away on their recording, it seemed to me. Some of their songs, they would just put this kind of jokey music to. Then I heard Joe Cocker do the song, and it kind of changed my whole view of music. What would you think if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. I get by with a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. What do I do when my love is away? Does it worry you to be alone? How do I feel by the end of the day? Are you sad because you're on your own? No, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Now the next part of this verse is a little dangerous if you're playing on the street. I was playing in Brunswick on Main Street, and I got to this, "Do you need anybody? I need someone to love." And a woman who was walking down the street with a whole bunch of tattoos and with a myna bird sitting on her shoulder walked up to me after I sang, "Do you need anybody? You need someone to love?" Looked me right in the eye and said, "Do you need somebody to love?" And I had to say quickly, "No, I'm happily married, but thank you very much." Do you need anybody? I need somebody to love. Could it be anybody? I need somebody to love. Would you believe in a love at first sight? Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time. What do you see when you turn out the light? I can't tell you, but I know it's mine. I get by with a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? Just need someone to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Nobody stood up and walked out. Oh, this is wonderful. Now that we might have peak audience here, I said something about a tip jar, and Pam and I totally failed to do that. We also couldn't figure out the social distancing of a tip jar. But the tip jar for this event is on the front porch of the general store. So if you appreciated this music, drop a quarter or, $10,000 or whatever else in between in the tip jar over there. And if we do another event, we'll have a tip jar for somewhere else. And,
Good.
One of the things that I loved about playing at the market was I'd have my case open and, sometimes I made $4. And, it's hitting the big time. But several little kids would come over and look in and feel that they should put something in. And I remember one little kid picking an apple blossom off the tree over there on the other side and very reverently putting in the apple blossom. Really the best playing tip I ever got. Here's a song by Van Morrison that I love. Doesn't have anything to do with this moment or this space, but I love it. I always like to do a song of his. And this is a song partly about accidents and accepting them. The song is called Into the Mystic. Originally it was just a song about sailing, and the title was Into the Misty, which is not a particularly good title or line. And one night he was on stage and he forgot the words and he sang Into the Mystic accidentally, and he thought, oh yeah, that's a much better song. Time to go with what the universe brings. We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Everybody's soul as one as we sail into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sailing cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly as we sail into the mystic. Like way back in the days of old, and together we will flow as we sail. Take a stop now. Well, thank you. I'm going to do one more. Keep this short, and well, you know, let me know. You know how people know how to reach me. If you, we'll do something else in a few weeks. This will be fun. Yes? You think we should? But people have kept. I thank you all for keeping it safe, keeping distance. This is what we wanted to see if we could do something safely here, and we have. So we're going to be away a little bit, and then we'll set something up in a few weeks. Anyway, but I wanted to end with another song I wrote that I almost always end with. Goes back to the same theme I had before, the idea that none of us by ourselves are that important. It's about together. We, from my point of view, you know, you may feel differently. From my point of view, it's much more about we than me, like this. I know the help that I've had has gotten me through from a lot of people. 'Cause I've never been too tightly wrapped. I gotta tell a Margot story, okay, Margot?
Oh no.
It's not nothing embarrassing about you. Margot was introducing me to somebody, and it's a Vinny story too, I think. Margot was introducing me to somebody who's here for the summer, last year, the year before. And she said, I moved to Wayne and I heard there was this guy who knew someone I knew. That part's a long story. So I asked my mom about him, and she said, Stan, he's the guy who falls asleep in yoga. We all get known by something. Never been too tightly wrapped? That's my superpower. The kids have decided I can fall asleep anywhere. I just hold it in check when I'm driving. Never been too tightly wrapped? If you know me, you know that's the truth. I don't know how I could have made it without you. That's the whole town, my family. Got those squirrels running round and round my attic. Nuts and bolts up there keep shaking loose. I don't know how I could have made it without you. Sometimes I run out of steam. My train falls off the track. You get me up and you get me going. You got my back. Never had a lick of sense. Oh, that's not the right verse for there. I get way out in the tall weeds, that's the verse. So lost and so blue. Don't know how I could have made it without you. My mind gets torn. My thought streams get confused. Don't know how I could have made it without you. Sometimes I run out of steam. My train falls off the track. You get me up and you get me going. You got my back. There we go. Never had a lick of sense. Rarely even have a clue. Don't know how I could have made it. Don't know how I could have made it. Don't know how I could have made it without you. Don't know how I could have made it without you. Well, this has been a great pleasure. I could do one more if that's all right. I'm not going to ask you to ask me for an encore, but should I do one more?
Yeah. Okay.
It's one for this time of year, and I always used to do it at the market, so I got to do it now. Wait, do I have the words here? Can I fake it? I better get the words. I always used to say at the market, I would point over to the Cranberry Rock stand this time of year, and I would say, the song says, there's only two things that money can't buy. That's true love and homegrown tomatoes. But now it's just true love. Because if you go down to Cranberry Rock on Friday, they got the most amazing tomatoes, and of course, some of us have them at home. Trent has tomatoes, Stevenson's farm. There's nothing in the world that I like better than bacon, lettuce, and homegrown tomatoes. Up in the morning and out in the garden, pick you a ripe one, don't get a harvest. Plant them in the springtime, eat them in the summer, all winters without them's a culinary bummer. I forget about all of the sweating and the digging every time I go out and I pick me a big homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What life be without homegrown tomatoes? There's only two things that money can't buy. That's true love and homegrown. I've been out to eat, and that's for sure, but there's nothing that a homegrown tomato won't cure. Put them in a salad, put them in a stew, you can make your own tomato juice. You can eat them with eggs, you can eat them with gravy, you can eat them with beans, black, pinto, or navy. Put them on the side, put them in the middle. Homegrown tomatoes on a hot cake griddle. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy. That's true love and homegrown tomatoes. If I could change this life I lead, it'd be call me Johnny Tomato Seed. I know what this country needs, tomatoes in every yard you see. When I die, don't bury me in a box in a cold, dark cemetery. Out in the garden would be much better, where I could be pushing up, you know what? I could be pushing up, yeah? I could be pushing up homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What life be without homegrown tomatoes? There's only two things that money can't buy. That's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Well, this is delightful. Thank you all for coming out. Watch announcements for the next one of these events, maybe in about 3 weeks. Maybe sooner. Take care, everybody. Tips for the general store. Pass it on. Be well, everybody. Be safe.
Yes. Thanks, Sam. Thank you, thank you.